Welcome to Confident AF Live, taking your mindset next level to get next year's results today with me, your host, Brandon Foster. Are you a badass peep with big dreams, ready to turn your unrealistic goals into reality? Confident AF Live is the gateway to enormous new opportunities and unlimited possibilities. The unrealistic can suddenly become realistic for you if you believe it. Are you ready to take your dreams and results to the next level? Then stay tuned as we help crack open the door to new ways of impactful thinking and believing about yourself with mindset practices for badass people like you. Confident AF Live starts right now. What up, badasses? Welcome to another live episode of Confident AF. My name is Brandon Foster. I'm here to inspire and encourage you to deliberately and systematically scale that mindset, to deliberately and systematically grow and scale that business. I hope you all have enjoyed all the latest episodes that I had. Last week was a really amazing episode. Talking about how we anchor into our faith. If you missed that last week, go back, check it out. It's really amazing. Really important if you feel like it's not working or you're starting to doubt yourself. Go back and listen to that episode. Today, we're going to talk about the moolah. Money, honey. We're going to talk about what happens. What is the mindset? What is the energy when clients are not paying you? And this could mean a couple different things. This could mean that literally clients sign up and they're literally not paying you after they signed up. This could be that clients are balking at your pricing. Like you tell them the price, they're all for it. And then they like, oh yeah, like, no. This could also mean that they give you lots of excuses on why they can't. And I find this so interesting because there's two different energies and mindsets, right? So it's your energy and your mindset, which is being reflected back to you through these people. And then you also have their energy and their mindset at play as well. So we're going to do a really deep dive into this. And I've never done an episode like this before, and I'm really excited. I feel like this is one you're probably going to want to bookmark to come back to as you grow and scale your business, because one of the nuanced things that I teach inside my Born to Slay Mindset Mastermind is how to make sure your prices are aligned with the value and the service you provide so that people love to pay you. Can everyone just put your hand over your heart and just feel the energy of people love my services and love to pay me? People love my services and love to pay me. People love my services and they can't wait to pay me. People love what I do and they can't wait to pay me. Everybody wants to pay me for what I do. They love what I do so much. They just want to pay me. And I always provide more value than expects. They always want to pay me more. Like everybody just wants to pay me. I love receiving the money for my service. I exceed expectations and people just love to pay me. And people just love to pay me. Can we just like fill into that? Because that's the vibe. That's the energy I want you to get behind. So let me establish just a ground piece for you, which is your greatest gift to the world is to provide the service and value that God has put in your heart to give. And that exchange for your value and the service you provide, you get to be compensated for it. Ta-da! All right. Which means the more that you develop and harness your skill, the more that you develop and harness the gifts God gave you, and the more value you provide, then the more you get to be paid, right? Makes sense. Pretty basic energy principles, also kind of basic economics. People wonder, why is it that Steve Jobs was so wealthy and that Oprah Winfrey is so wealthy and founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, is so wealthy? Well, they provided massive value to the world. Think about what they created. Think about their gifts they gave the world. Like that deserves massive compensation. I don't know about you, but I love the fact that I can order things off of Amazon and get them like today. Like that's really, really amazing. And also people judge them and forget how challenging it was for them to get to where they are today or were before they passed. Like Jeff Bezos didn't start off being a multi-billionaire. He had to figure a lot of stuff out, right? There was a lot of challenges that he had to face. So I think that's really important to keep in mind too. So one reason why your clients might not, let's go right into my 7 reasons, shall we? We're going right in now. So one of the reasons why clients might not be paying you is you just flat out are self-sabotaging because you don't feel safe to receive their money. And this will happen when you don't really believe in the value they provide. You have doubt in the value that you provide. If you have doubts in what you provide and doubt in your pricing, your clients are going to doubt your pricing and they're going to doubt the value that you provide. And when that happens, they are less likely to pay. And they might even reflect it back to you by asking questions like, why are you priced that way? Why does it cost so much? If someone asks you, why does it cost so much? Then it means that clearly they don't understand the value of what you provide and they want explanation. That is like a very, very clear indicator of that. So if you don't feel safe to receive their money, or other piece for this is if you don't feel safe to deliver on the promise. So I see this with a lot of travel professionals that haven't been to a destination, or even if they've been to the destination, they're just not confident in their ability to actually service the client. And the client can feel the doubt. They can feel that the nervousness and the trepidation that they're going to be able to service them. And when that happens, they're less likely to pay because why would you pay someone who they think, but they're not sure they can actually help you? It's like, can you imagine going into a restaurant and saying, I would like to have a large pepperoni pizza. And they go, well, we have about a 50% success rate. I think we can cook that pepperoni pizza for you, but we're not 100% sure. Like, no, like that is not good. Not good at all. You want to the person to be 120% confident that they can help you solve whatever problem or challenges you're facing. So you need to have that same energy with your clients. Otherwise, they're not going to pay you. Number 2 is you're overpriced. So anytime someone thinks that you're overpriced, I hinted at this a little bit earlier where they ask you, why does it cost so much? But if you literally have someone who balks at your pricing, that means that they feel that the price you're asking for is not commensurate with the value you actually provide. This is why it's so interesting that as you step into a more abundant mindset, you begin to view things that cost more money in a different way than when you have a poverty mindset. Because poverty mindset says, why would I pay for a $500 pen or $1,000 pen or whatever it is? An abundance mindset would say, no, this isn't just a pen. This is a sign of God's blessing in my business because this is the pen that I sign multi-million-dollar contracts with, right? It begins to shift a lens and a thinking. So usually what happens is you will overprice things when you have lack with money. When you have lack of money, you're desperate for money. You want the money so bad, you're in danger of taking advantage of people and not delivering the value that you should be providing for what they're paying. And I believe that when the Bible is talking about greed, it's not talking about wanting money. It's talking about not providing value commensurate with the money you're actually receiving. So it's really important that you are willing to look at your pricing and ask yourself honestly and wholeheartedly, am I providing the value for this service that I am charging? Because when you have really good, clean energy about your pricing and the value you provide, it's really easy to charge for your services. And people are excited and happy to pay because they know it's a really, really good deal. Number 3 is you don't have boundaries. So one of the things that I really love are payment plans. And it's so funny because my own mindset used to like payment plans because I wanted all the money now, all the money now, all the money now. And now I really like payment plans because I know money is coming in, it's consistent and it's coming in. It allows me to grow and scale the money that I'm earning in both of my businesses. And in fact, I was at an amazing business conference where a finance guru specialist talked about how for coaches, it's very helpful to have 50% of revenue pay in full, 50% revenue on payment plans. And if you can cover your operating expenses with payment plans, that's a really, really, really beautiful place to be because all those expenses are covered for a couple of different months, which is awesome. So when I talk about boundaries, I'm talking about an example with payment plans, whereas I used to have payment plans where I'd use PayPal, but they weren't auto bill. And so what would happen was you would pay someone, then you have to send a reminder invoice, and then you have to send another reminder invoice, and you got to send another reminder. Every month you have to send a reminder to pay the invoice. I have gotten very far away from that in general. I think I have one person that I'm doing this right now because I met them with their unique circumstances. But majority of the time, it's a set in stone payment plan. I don't have to think about it because it auto bills, it auto charges the card. And then there's systems and procedures in place that if they don't pay, then we check in, we see what's up. And if they still don't pay, then we discontinue course access or access to the program until they can pay. So I would say that if you don't have people paying and you don't have boundaries, you're telling the universe that that's okay. It's not a big deal. You're actually devaluing yourself. And this is a new epiphany for me. I feel like devaluing yourself is devaluing the client, the talents that God gave you. Isn't that interesting? Devaluing yourself is actually devaluing the talents that God gave you. I just had that download. Thank you, God. I think that's a really important download, that the more you realize and develop the gifts God gave you, then of course you deserve to be compensated because you're giving more to the world, and God would love to reward that because you're following the desires He placed in your heart for how you're supposed to show up. Number 4 would be that you feel desperate and needy. This is something that if you have a strong rejection, abandonment wound, this is something you need to heal. And this is something I've done a lot of healing work around since I started my businesses, because I was rejected when I came out and I had a very strong abandonment wound. And actually now, since I read the amazing book, It Didn't Start With You, I realized that abandonment wound wasn't even it was already in my DNA way before I even realized, way before everything transpired and I was forced out. Way before all of that stuff transpired in my own personal life, my family has a history of abandonment, a history of rejection. And so it's a very prominent wound that our family has what's up, fellow healers? People who decide to let God's love come in and heal those wounds. So you don't want to be the needy prom date. You don't want to be the guy or the girl, the guy who will date any girl because they don't believe they can get the girl of their dreams. And you don't want to be the girl who takes the first person who says yes to the prom. You don't want to be either one of those people. You want to be the person who is willing to go to prom alone because they know their worth and they know their value. Because let's face it, the people who know their worth and their value, they don't have to go and beg for business. They don't have to go and beg people to work with them because they know and understand the value that they provide. And when you can really step into that, the needy energy and the desperation energy goes away. And the ironic thing is that the needy and desperation energy actually what repels people from wanting to pay and wanting to work with you, whereas the confident, calm, cool energy of you want what I got naturally magnetizes and attracts people to you, which is kind of an oxymoron that a lot of people have to wrap their heads around if they're not familiar with mindset and energy and how all of that works. But the energy of needy is really a disallowance of God's love into your life because you haven't allowed God's love to fill you fully and completely and remind you that you are worthy just because you are. Number 5 is they don't understand the value that they offer. And this really is a confidence piece because as someone who has helped hundreds and now approaching thousands of people already and will be thousands upon thousands of people with their confidence and their beliefs, is that confidence is knowing your capabilities and abilities, who God created you to be and what you are capable of doing. Now, you can grow in confidence in your skills by learning, implementing, and moving up your expertise, right? But one of the reasons why clients don't pay is because you don't understand the value that you offer, so you're not getting behind it. Because when you understand the value that you offer and you get behind it, you're going to charge higher prices. You're going to love those prices and know you're worthy of those prices. When I first started doing coaching, I charged $200 for 4 sessions in a month. That's $50 per session. That is ridiculous. And like, no way could I ever get near that right now for as much work and as much growth and as much as I learned at this point in time. And so I would encourage you to ask God, hey, please show me the value that I provide. Show me how to charge prices that are aligned with how I serve and honor people. Please show me how to do that. I think that's incredibly important, incredibly valuable to really step into the offerings you provide and understanding their value. And by the way, if you want to make it really easy for people to say yes, over-provide more value than they expect, right? It's kind of like when you go to some place for your birthday and you get the free dessert and you're like, oh my gosh, I got a free dessert. Now, what's ironic is some restaurants, because it's the free dessert, now they give you like, well, it's clearly the free dessert because it's not a very good dessert. But do you remember when restaurants used to give you like a really amazing good dessert that was like a dessert on the menu? Like, that's what I'm talking about, where people over deliver on their promise to you. I think that's really important and really impactful. Number 6 is that you feel guilty because you feel like you're taking their money. This is a huge one because you're not taking anybody's money. It's a choice. You are not taking anybody's money. If someone pays you for the service, they're choosing to pay you. You are not twisting their arm. You're not forcing. We're not manipulating. We're not controlling, which is, by the way, why on your sales calls, you should be giving them every single payment option you can give them at the get-go. Like, if you have 3 different ways that they can pay you, you should literally say, you have 3 different options, whichever one feels like the best for you. Like, give people autonomy and freedom to pay you how they want to pay, right? And so if you feel guilty, that means you feel like you're doing something wrong, because guilt is how you feel when you feel like you did something wrong. Shame is how you feel when you feel like there's something wrong with you. So if you feel guilty for the money you receive, then you don't feel worthy of it. You don't understand the worth of your value, and you feel like you're doing something bad by receiving the money. And that needs to be healed immediately, because money is a way for people to bless your life because you're blessing their life with your gift. It's an equal exchange. And again, you're not taking their money. You're only taking your money if you're not delivering on the promise or you're overcharging. Then you're taking advantage of people's money because you're taking advantage of them, right? Which goes back to what we talked about earlier. So you want to make sure that you have clean energy when you're receiving the money, that you're grateful and excited to receive it, and you are confident that you're delivering equal value or more value than what they are paying you for. And number 7, and this is a big one, this will really sneak up on you and this will get you. If you have one person who says that they can't afford to work with you, it's very easy to attach this idea that nobody can afford to work with you. And just because one person says they can't afford to work with you, doesn't mean that there's not thousands of people who can. So please, whatever you do, do not attach to this idea. Even though they said they couldn't afford me, there are thousands of people who can quickly and easily pay for my services. There are thousands and hundreds of people who would love to work with me and love to pay for my services. There's thousands and hundreds of people who would love to pay me and can easily afford my services. My prices are perfect and easy to pay. 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 Say that like 1,000 times. My prices are perfect and easy to pay. My prices are perfect and easy to pay. My prices are perfect and easy to pay. Get behind that energy with your pricing over and over and over again. And that my prices are perfect and easy to pay. People love to pay me. My prices are perfect, easy to pay, and people love to pay me. I really want you all to not let one individual, one person take you out and attach one belief because of one person, one individual, one instance. We do this all the time in our life. We have one bad experience and we never go back to that restaurant again because we got food poisoning that one time. We had one bad experience with a person and now we judge that person and hold it against them for the rest of their life. Don't let one experience in your life dictate a new belief. Re-choose, redecide. Man, I go a lot deeper in this inside my mastermind, Born to Slay. If you guys are interested in that, you definitely need to join the Confident AF Mindset Practices Facebook group where I do new trainings and I talk about that mastermind. Make sure you are also following me on Instagram at Brandon R. Foster. We got some affirmations going on over there. We got some reels that coming out over there, which kind of hit some of these points just really quickly. But either way, I love you to pieces, boo. I'm so glad and grateful that you're here, that you've been listening to these episodes, and I will see you next week. You have been listening to Confident AF Live, taking your mindset next level to get next year's results today with host Brandon Foster on transformationtalkradio.com. Listen or watch live every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, where I help badasses like you with big dreams learn to take their impact and results next level, turning those unrealistic goals into reality. Confident AF Live is the gateway to enormous new opportunities and unlimited possibilities. For more information, get in touch with me, Brandon, at BrandonRFoster.com.